Like, as someone who has done mentorships for 5+ years, I've never experienced this, especially in a short space of time. At the start of this year, I set myself like an annual goal for your business, as you do. And now my annual goal has become my quarterly goal. The biggest difference has probably been me, like identity. The identity shift in your program has been crazy. And then that was what led to Augustine's lifetime record of 7.5 years. Because you guys doubled my retention. So it gives me such peace of mind because I'm like, oh, I'm not stressing out every single time it's the first of the new month.
So how does that feel now?
Peaceful. I feel like there is no limit, which is so insane to me. When I started this company 7 years ago, I had these like big dreams and these big goals. And it was like through the years, they got pushed to the side. So having this experience is, hold on, I'm going back to those big goals and those big dreams that I had for my every single client that you work with, you're pushing them into CEO mode. There is no stone left unturned in terms of what you're coaching and what you guys do and what you cover within having a successful online fitness business. A massive game changer for me is just how progressive you guys are. Like, it was just so progressive that I've never seen anything like it.
How would you even describe what it is that we do?
So I need a minute.
Today we have Elena, who've been working together for a couple of months. And I said this to you, I've been very looking forward to this interview and to this call because the transformation you've had is insane, right? I said just before we started recording, you're like, if someone told me that this was happening a few months ago, you probably would have laughed at them. So first off, I just want to pass it over to you. Introduce yourself and tell us who you work with and a little about your coaching business.
Okay, so my name is Elena. I've been online coaching now for 7.5 years, and I work primarily with women in corporate. They tend to basically put themselves last, whether it's because of work or family life, being a mom, different reasons. But the commonality between all of them is that they just feel like they don't deserve or they don't have the capacity to put time and energy into their own health.
Okay. And you've been doing this for 7.5 years.
Yes.
And funny thing there is before we were recording, we actually said that we spoke 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
That's
And
3 years ago, yeah.
yeah, things didn't align, but thankfully 3 months ago, things did align. So bring me back to the last kind of 7.5 years. How has running your coaching business been?
It's honestly been good. I think year 5 or year 6, and just for personal reasons, it took a massive hit, and that hit lasted maybe 1 to 2 years. But generally, I've always enjoyed online fitness coaching. I absolutely love it. I've been in back-to-back mentorships, I would say. But if I was being honest with myself, I think that my mindset of feeling like this is the only place that my business will get to and trying to aim any sort of like bigger or have bigger goals just wasn't something that was achievable. And I think I just landed in that spot for a little bit as well.
So take me back to 3 months ago. You ended up, how did we end up getting back in contact? Did you reach back out to me?
Out to you, yeah, because I was in two minds about reinvesting in a previous mentorship. And even when we had the conversation, I already knew that it wasn't the right decision, but having the conversation with you as well helped because it's like Albert Einstein says, right? Doing the same thing and expecting different results is insanity. So I knew if I was to make that decision to go back to the previous mentorship, I would just be in the same place. So I wanted to reach out to you because I think when I first reached out to you a few years ago, I think you were quite new to me. So from watching you for like years over time, seeing client results, seeing how you show up in your coaching, I was like, okay. So then that's what led me to reach out.
Okay. What kind of position was your coaching business in when you reached out? Because you reached out for a reason.
Yeah, I reached out for a big reason. I can't imagine myself doing anything else but this. And then I reached a point where I was starting to see the possibility of not being able to continue it. And I was just like, that's not okay. That's not going to happen. So I reached out to you because I needed to get out of that space. I think business had declined over the previous year by, I think, 72% or something like that, which was massive. I was like, something needs to change now. So
What was the biggest problems that you were dealing with in the business?
lead flow, lead acquisition, I would definitely say, because client delivery was always good. Client retention obviously always could be improved, but it wasn't necessarily the bottleneck of my business. I would say lead flow, lead acquisition were the big things for me.
I remember these calls that we've had this year, just as you're about to join, and it was a big move for you. I remember.
Oh my gosh. It was so huge that we had to have a second call, right? Because I was bouncing between making this investment so much. I probably was like one of your worst prospects on that sales call because I knew I needed to make that decision. But like the fear of just being like, oh my God, what is on the other side of this? And if I was being honest with myself, it was like, if you show up and do the work, you're going to get the results. But there was still that element of fear of, okay, but what if this doesn't work? And that kind of led me to like battle so much with you. But yeah, I would probably love to go back to the previous Elena and shake her a little bit and just be like, come on,
Yeah.
you're
What?
not ever going to get different results doing the same thing.
So what really made you pull the trigger on it then?
I would definitely say understanding more about your systems and how they work, understanding that it is an A and B system. And it wasn't about me being scared if it was going to work or not. It was about if you show up and do the work, it's going to work. And that's just how your program works. If you show up and do what you need to do, it's going to be absolutely impossible for you to not get results. So from understanding that system in place, I was like, the only thing you now need to do is just say yes and just move forward. And 2 hours later, but yeah,
Like, thank God we did, right?
yeah.
Because it's been amazing. It's been so fun watching you grow. So I guess
Thank you.
take me through the first couple of months. Like, what have you done, and how has business changed?
The craziest thing is, if anyone was to ask me the biggest difference, it's probably been me, like identity. The identity shift in your program has been crazy. As someone who has done mentorships for 5+ years, I've never experienced this, especially in a short space of time. That was probably the biggest turning point for me because once I was then able to step into that role of like CEO versus just being a fitness coach, I was suddenly making decisions differently to how I'd made them before. So then I was able to see whatever campaigns, whatever strategies we did, I was able to approach them differently and then therefore get different results from them.
Can I ask what brought you to that kind of realization or that kind of change? What inside the program has done that for you?
Oh, 100% the coaching. Like I would say, obviously, conversations that you and I have had throughout working together, but also there's so much coaching within your program. Like I didn't expect it to be this intense when I signed on, intense in a very good way. But knowing that I have coaching nearly every day, pretty much within the program, has meant that my mindset has shifted at a very rapid rate because I'm constantly being coached by individuals who are a lot further along than me who, however, are still in the same position as me that I can relate to as well and learn from. So, constantly being coached in my current situation, whether it's a current campaign or whatever we're doing currently, it just meant that I was always being, what's the word I'm looking for? I was always reminded of the identity that I needed to step into in order to succeed within the program.
And I think I've seen that in you very recently when we put a strategy, let's say, on your plan. I think previous Elena probably would have just said, I'm not doing it. I don't think it's going to work.
100%. Yeah. One of the strategies that we did, I was like procrastinating on it so much. And I was just like, oh, this is not going to work. I think this is just not going to work. No one's going to care. And then that was what led to August being lifetime record month for 7.5 years and a record month for, I think I got 11 clients in the month, which I've never experienced before. And it also showed me, oh, okay, I can actually scale and it's still manageable because you guys have also, I think one of the things that a lot of people that may be thinking about your program don't realize is that it's not just marketing because the attention to detail and the coaching and the help that I've gotten with client delivery, sales, organization, CEO, admin, whatever the case may be, has made me a better business owner because now I'm like, hold on, I don't need to cap at 20 clients because I have the systems in place because now we're up to 38. And if you told me that before, I'd be like, oh my God, I must be working all the time. And I'm not. So the systems that are there now has obviously come from the coaching and it's allowed me to step into that next level.
Because you thought your capacity was about 20.
So did you my capacity was like 25 when we signed on. I was like, I can't do any more than 25. So yeah. And I definitely can do more than where I'm at right now. And obviously that's what I'm still striving towards in the program. Yeah, it's exciting.
And the fact that you're not far off double what you thought your capacity was really.
And
Has your coaching changed? Has it had any sort of effect on the results that you get or the type of people that you're working with?
yeah, I would definitely say that coaching has improved. Like I said, I always loved client delivery, but there's always room for improvement with everything. And one of the things that I've definitely seen a massive change in is the quality over quantity and learning how to deliver coaching to clients. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're at their beck and call 24/7. or burning yourself out in the process, for example. So they have definitely received a better experience because of it. And also when we do focus on client delivery within the program, I've gotten so much cool like ideas and strategies that I've taken to my clients that they absolutely love. So then they're staying longer, retention is better. And so just a nice cycle going around.
And I say this all the time. If we can help you double your retention, you essentially double your business with no extra overheads, no extra ad costs, no extra marketing. It's just a better
Yeah,
business.
because you guys doubled my retention. I think it was like in like week 6, I think. And now every new client that comes in, that is there. So it gives me such peace of mind because I'm like, oh, I'm not stressing out every single time it's the first of a new month. And I'm like, oh, I need 5 clients. It's, oh, maybe I need 2 as a minimum, but I'll still aim for more kind of thing.
So how does that feel now?
Peaceful. It feels nice. Because I also mentioned this in the school community as well. Like July and August, I used to stress every year because coaches know July and August is like the tumbleweed months. It's like everyone's on holiday, no one wants to invest. And then to think that July and August were like my biggest months, not just of 2025, but like of my nearly 8 years is just insane. So it was like, that was such a nice experience because then going into September, I almost had to have to like pull myself and be like, don't put your feet up and relax. But still you're in a very good position. Like it's nice going into the new month already having that security, that base that's there.
How do you how do you see the future of this business now? Because again, to bring it
Yeah.
back, when we first spoke, you said you thought your capacity was capped. You had a big lead flow problem. You were thinking of going back and doing the same thing over again in this mindset of, I still don't think these things are going to work anyway, but I'm trying to find a solution. Like, how do you see the future of your business now?
I feel like there is no limit, which is so insane to me. When I started this company 7 years ago, I had these like big dreams and these big goals. And it was like through the years, they got pushed to the side because I felt like I've been stuck in this same place for so long. Is that really possible? So having this experience is, hold on, I'm going back to those big goals and those big dreams that I had. Mean it when I say that I want my brand to take over the world. Like I want to grow my team. I want assistant coaches. Like I want all of these things. But that was just something I didn't necessarily see was possible before. And now I'm just, oh, that is really close and around the corner. So yeah, it's good.
So I guess I have to ask, like, how you would describe what it is that we do, because you said you've been in mentorships for 7 years, right? And then we come in here, everything is a little bit different. So how would you even describe what it is that we do?
So I need a minute. Let's figure that out. The best way I can describe it is like an identity shift. I feel like it's a coaching experience 100%. And on the surface level, it gives you all the tools and the strategies that you need to succeed. But on a deeper level, it's giving you the environment and the environment and the support to really grow into the next level, but not but next level that you didn't even think that you could necessarily move into, basically. It's just, I don't know how I can explain it, but I would say it's more of an experience than like a coaching. I don't know if that helps, but
That's cool. It's not something I said to you before. Let me ask you in this way as well. What's your top 3 takeaways so far from this?
oh gosh. Take emotion out of the game.
Yes.
That's my biggest one. Action will always triumph any anxiety or fear. And what's my third one? It's either a win or a lesson.
It's
So,
funny, that's pretty much everything you said there is all mindset stuff.
yep. Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I think looking back, you also said if you could go back, you'd probably just shake yourself.
Yeah. 100%.
What would you say to yourself back then if you're, because without getting into it, it was a big decision. It was emotional. Like it was a massive turning point for you. Really, look, what would you have told yourself now, knowing what you know?
The only way you're going to get what you want is if you back yourself. Like, you cannot expect for things to change with the same mindset that has put you in the current situation that you are in. If you are in a place where you are not happy for whatever reason, or there's goals that you want to chase, or there's results that you want to see within your business, you are not going to get there thinking the same way that you've always been thinking.
So I want to know, you've just hit your biggest month in
Mhm.
7 years of this business. Have about 16 weeks left at the end of the year. Where do you see it being by then?
It's so crazy because I was having this conversation with Kieran. At the start of this year, I set myself like an annual goal for your business, as you do. And now my annual goal has become my quarterly goal. So it's, yeah. So I would say that if you asked me this in maybe month 1, I would have probably said by the end of the year, yeah, I like want to add 10, 15 clients, like my client base. I'm like, nah, end of the year, I'm ready to have like assistant coaches. Like I'm ready to expand, I would say, to that level essentially. Cause I feel like 50 is not far off. And then obviously from having the successful months, I'm obviously moving from going organic to also implementing paid as well. But knowing that obviously comes with more growth, I'm excited to expand the team, expand the business.
What is the one biggest difference, I'd say, between what we're doing and what everyone else is doing?
You're building a well-rounded business. I would say every single client that you work with, you're pushing them into CEO mode. That's probably the best way I can simplify it. You're not just trying to get your clients sales for the sake of getting sales. You're trying to get your clients to grow their business, or you are having your clients grow your business. But with that, a high level service goes to their client. With that, becoming better salespeople, becoming better marketers. There is no stone left unturned in terms of what you're coaching and what you guys do and what you cover within having a successful online fitness business. So it's not just about, okay, I'm going to join this program and grow my business and get more clients. No, I'm going to learn how to give them the best possible service, better than any of the other coaches out there. I'm going to learn how to operate sales from a place of helping people and generally wanting them to show up in their best selves and not being sleazy or anything like that. And then also marketing in that same way too. And then one thing I would add to that as well, that was like a massive game changer for me when I went in this program is just how progressive you guys are. Yes, I had my plan in terms of what I need to do, but every single week there was progressions to it in terms of how to approach my market depending on different factors, different strategies depending on my ideal client. Like it was just so progressive that I've never seen anything like it.
You said you're going traveling this month or next month. You're only going for a short period of time. But how do you feel facing that now versus facing it when business wasn't where it is now?
Because I have consistent lead gen. So like before, even though I just don't like taking time off because I generally love what I do, when I would try and sort of travel and like take time off before, there was like this fear of, oh my God, my business is going to crash like what I've gotten. Whereas now it's just, if I take time off, I don't have that fear because there's that consistent lead flow all the time. And it just gives me peace of this doesn't feel, even though I've always owned the business, it feels less like a job now. Because before it felt more of a job of, okay, I have to show up and I have to do this. And as soon as I take my foot off the gas, everything's going to crumble. Whereas now, because of the systems we have in place, it doesn't work that way anymore. So I can breathe, step back into, I know I keep saying this, but step back into CEO mode and be like, okay, where do I want to progress from here? Where do I want to go from here?
There's one more thing I want to ask you. So something you've been doing in the community, and you might have to remind me whether or not this was like a task I set you or it was something you set upon yourself. But you've been
Okay.
putting weekly updates to
Yeah,
the
I
team.
set myself homework.
That was you, right? You came up with this idea.
I
Okay.
set myself homework.
I have to ask you about it because I think it's been amazing. And you've seen that other people in the community have also
Yeah.
taken it and started doing it as well.
Yeah.
Tell me about the decision to do that. Tell me about what you're actually doing so people understand it. And also just tell me about like how has that actually benefited you?
So I think when we first signed on, one of the trainings or one of the things that we actually spoke about before I went into the program was the power of external accountability, right? So I took on that and was like, okay, how could I hold myself more externally accountable? Which is crazy because the external accountability I get from you guys is extremely intense. I didn't necessarily need to do that, but I went on to then just basically do a weekly roundup of like how my week's gone, because I know from being in a different position that sometimes when you're just looking at other people like winning around you, it can be inspirational and motivational, but sometimes it could also just be like, why is this not happening for me? So by me like showing up and being like, look, this went well and this didn't go well, like every single week, it just it made everyone else feel like it's normal to not sign on 100 clients in a week or to have weeks where you're focused more on client delivery than sales and things like that. So it just gave me a nice weekly roundup, a nice reflection. And then also going into the new week, it was like, okay, this is what I need to do and I want to do in order to show up, as you always say, 1% better. So that was the thought process behind it as well.
I think it's been like super inspiring for everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing it. It's been great. It's so good having you as part of the community. I'm so glad we got to work together. And like, congratulations on hitting this big month, the biggest month you've had in 7 years of coaching. And
Yeah.
it is 100% only the start. So I'm looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
where we are in 6 more months.
Yeah,
So, thanks for jumping
100%.
on.
Thank you. I feel sorry for you because you're not gonna be able to get rid of me now, but it's okay.